Thank you, Kristen. So to everyone, I begin with Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Vanikam, Wunikisuk, Womenyeka, Osio, Halito, Subabapora, Matia, Jiajuich, Yamnyali, Saubona, Milweni, Domela, Ujambo. So many ways to say hello. And of course, if I kept going, well, it'll be tomorrow. It is such a joy to see all of you. And I got to tell you, joy is something we really, really need because as we know, it's not that there weren't difficult times in the past, but there is something unique about our difficult time. Because you see, although humanity has always faced challenges, there were challenges that threatened us, but not the entire planet. There were also challenges where the threat was to some of us, but not to our entire species. So we right now find ourselves in a situation in which the conditions are radically different. We have the technologies of reaching all over the planet within a nanosecond, and the technologies to go physically across the planet in under 24 hours, and technologies to affect anywhere of the planet within minutes. So what that means is we live on a smaller planet, and there are 8 billion people on this planet who face constantly the reality that anything that happens anywhere on the planet affects everyone everywhere. It means then that we are a species that faces an extraordinary responsibility. That responsibility is connected intimately not only to what we know, but what we feel, what we understand, and also related to feeling how we love. A lot of the problems we face right now are also connected to our very attitude towards that responsibility. Some flee, cover their eyes. Others may take it on in such a way that although they embrace the responsibility, they take it on in such a way that they inflate their sense of self-importance. When they do that, although they are taking the responsibility, it has a form of narcissistic grandeur that forgets that we're all in this together. One of the things about GCAS that some of you may see immediately is that our chancellor has put so much literally blood, sweat, and tears into making it work, but it's a community. There are people who are behind the scenes, who make sure to check in on him and to check in on each of you. And when I say this, I don't only mean the faculty and the executive board and all those, but I mean you, the fellow students. The thing for you to understand is that we are a community struggling in the good sense to articulate a different understanding of what it means to learn. And what that is the importance of learning together, growing together, understanding what it is to take on the global responsibility of community in this awesome, difficult endeavor we call the love of ideas and knowledge. Now, I got to say something to you. You're pursuing a PhD. One of the things that's funny about a PhD is it's got the word philosophy in it, even though, not all PhDs are philosophers, doctorate of philosophy. Philosophy in it, it doesn't really mean the highbrow, holding the chin stereotype. It means philosophy in the truer sense, philosophia. And this truer, deeper sense actually goes back to ancient East Africa. It's connected to the language, we know it in terms of Greek, but if we think about the ancient languages like Meduneta, we understand that wisdom is not a singular conception of knowledge. It's a broad, encompassing understanding. The early Reket, communities of women who developed science, mathematics, and so forth in ancient East Africa, that's part of knowledge. The people who deal with the concept of Sa and Se, which is the root from which you get Sophia, they also talk about knowledge in the form of not simply the distance understanding of the world, but the connected understanding of the world. It is within that framework, then, that when we think of what we're trying to do, our goal is not for you to look at whether it's ideas or philosophy to be like Moses with the tablets or some prophet with a tablet, all right? It's something much different. It's connected to the profound, powerful, motivating understanding of love. And what I mean by that is that every one of you who are here right now are people who have done extraordinary things before you have even come on the screen or even filled out a form to join GCAS. You are people who fell in love. And I'm not talking, there's nothing wrong with romantic love. I can be romantic. But there's another kind of love. There's this love that draws you into the meaning of what it is to get up in the morning, for you to understand what it is to have a life worth living. It's the kind of love in which you realize that you must keep learning, that you want to go to bed every night, or some of us go to bed in the morning, and saying, what did I learn? You see, a PhD is someone who fell in love with learning and fell in love so much that he, or they will continue doing so, even if it means teaching themselves. But the thing about it is they're not going to be so into themselves that they're not open to learning from others. So continue, cultivate, nurture this love of learning, not only with what you bring to what you're studying, but what you bring to this community and the many communities with which and with whom you work. Because you see, right now, there are harbingers of hate. There are people who think that you resolve problems by simply eliminating those you hate, by eliminating the world. In fact, I've been meditating a lot, sad to say, on evil. I think there are many examples of evil, but I've been thinking a lot about Melville, the way he talks in Moby Dick about Ahab. Because you see, Ahab is so consumed by himself and his hatred for the whale that he is willing to take an entire community and have that community sink into oblivion just so he could sink a harpoon in the object of his hatred. Hatred destroys the world. Love makes it grow. So each of you bring out that love that has brought you here, because we need you. Humanity needs you, because your work, what you will bring to this community and to others, is that precious gift of love that ideas spark. And when you do so, not only will you grow, but all of us will. That is how I see the task at hand. Thank you.